Welcome to the Birdhouse Mock Draft Monday on the Dynasty Rewind. We have got the whole family in the house tonight. First of all, one of the stalwarts on the Dynasty Rewind, Nate Christian. Welcome, Nate.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to get to join you guys for the mock draft. You know, Mike and I have always said we need to live stream more, but we don't always get the chance to, and you guys do. So I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight.
Hey, it's the first day of the 2026 off season. We got to fire it up. And we also have the newest member of the Dynasty Rewind family, Mike, Fantasy Nerdboi, with the Dynasty Degens in the house. He has been banging out the content the last month, and we are very happy to have him aboard. Mike, welcome.
What's up, boys? I appreciate you having me on, man. I am fresh off of a embarrassing Super Bowl loss as a Patriots fan. So I'm ready to start the rookie season. I'm ready to do anything to distract me from the heartbreak and the embarrassment that was last night. So let's just keep it moving and let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, Nate and I were talking earlier off camera. You know, he's a Ravens fan. I'm a Bucs fan. We're both 2-0 in the Super Bowls. We don't know how to handle a loss on Super Bowl Monday. So I'm happy you came aboard. So we're glad to have you.
You got to get to more of those, though. You'll get some losses eventually once you get to more of them, but it's going to happen.
You've been there 12 times, so yeah, eventually you're going to lose once in a while.
It's a numbers game, you know? It is what it is.
All right, well, let's get to the rookie draft. That's what they all came to see us, not whine about the Patriots. So we have enough of that. Anyway, we decided ahead of time, Mike is going to get the 101. Nate will get the 102. I'll take the 103, and then we'll just go in that order. We've got a little twist here. We're going to, whoever's turn it is, the pick's going on the block, and the others get to try and throw some offers out there, just like it happens in your rookie drafts.
Okay.
And
nice
so
sprinkle. I like that.
This is going to be a little twist. We'll see if anybody can steal the 101 here. Mike, it is on you for the 101.
I mean, the 101's on the block, but you know, for brevity here, we're not holding on for too long. So you guys can throw out any offer you want in the next 23 seconds.
All right. Well, I've got one offer for you. I am a contender and I need a young back. So I am willing to toss you George Pickens and the 105 for your 101 and Parker Washington. You can counter it if you don't like that, but otherwise just hit smash accept.
You know what? I'm gonna pass and I'm taking my guy here just because I have him above Ashton Genty. I have him probably lockstep with a Gibbs right now as far as dynasty value goes. And I'm going to take Jeremiah Love because I think that the price of Jeremiah Love right now is only going to go up and up and up. And at this point in time, I think that he's already probably a top 5 dynasty running back in the game.
All right.
Nate, what do you think? I mean, were you offering any more than what I just threw out there?
No, I think you had a pretty good offer. I think
it's pretty good.
It was pretty good, but
I am a George Pickens hater, though. I'll be honest with you.
That didn't help then.
Myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in a different world, I probably would have, snapped that up. But Pickens is tied to the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott only plays good in the odd number years, and we are on to an even number year. So I think I'm gonna fade all Cowboys this year.
Yeah, and I think value-wise, I'm a guy that loves value. I love trading down almost every opportunity I can. I think value-wise, it's probably not a bad trade to move down off the 101 for. But like Mike said, we're not big George Pickens guys over here.
All right, fine. I'll probably be stuck waiting here at the 103. But go ahead, Nate. You're up with the 102.
Right. I got the 102. It's a very easy pick for me. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to throw out any offers, but I know who I want here.
Well, I do have an offer. I don't know if Mike wants to throw something at you.
No, fire away, baby. You're the offer.
All right, man. I am
You
ready.
you came prepared. I didn't come prepared with any trades. I was going to make them up. So,
well, you can just make these up. We're not holding these to you. I mean, these are just hypotheticals. So, I really need a quarterback though, and I'm sitting at the 105 here, and I'm really, really worried I'm not getting Mendoza. So, I am going to throw you George Pickens for, let me think here. What was it? Oh no, not Pickens. Sorry. I'll hold on to him. But I'll give you my 105 and 205. I'll start there. But I do have George Pickens on my roster if you're interested.
Well, that's good to know, but that's not going to do it for me. Maybe if you want to give me, I see you got Colson Loveland on your roster.
Ooh. That's a positional trade there. Now, I didn't announce beforehand. I was going to say it's a 12-team Superflex 0.75 tight end premium. So that kind of changes it. For Loveland right now.
See, and I'd probably my offer to you probably be I would want Loveland in a second, and maybe I give you the 102, and maybe if I have the 302.
For super flex quarterback,
I don't know. I think for Loveland, where he's at right now, I'd be able to get a better quarterback. If I really need a quarterback, I am going to pivot to trying to look at other rosters and try and find a little more stable of an asset than a rookie quarterback. I mean, I think Mendoza is going to be pretty solid. They're getting Kubiak. He's got Genty, Bowers there, but he's still a rookie, right? Sure. And even if he's a top 5 pick, the hit rate on quarterbacks is still about 50-50. So I don't know. I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass? Well, then I'll be picking up Fernando Mendoza at the 102. In a Superflex draft, I think he's either the 101 or the 102. I'm not against Jeremiah Love as the 101 because I think he's a stud. But I could see these guys kind of going either way depending on positional need, depending on your league. I love Fernando Mendoza. I love the character behind him as well. I think it's hard for me to see him not being successful because of who he is as a person. And he's got all the traits that you need to be successful. Now, he's going to be the next Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? No, probably not. But I think he can be a really solid, low-end quarterback 1 with a floor being a high-end quarterback 2.
Yeah, he's got that Kirk Cousins aura.
I think that's a pretty good comp there.
It's a good comp.
He really Kirk O'Chain's Kirk Cousins though. I'm thinking of him shirt off with chains.
You like that kind of Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, that's a Kirk Cousins right there. A little spicy, like spicy Kirk Cousins.
Yes, he definitely has that Cousins spice. All right. Well, we've got plenty of comments in the section right over my face here. Welcome, Brandon. Do we want to hit all these up? Jeez.
Well, they just came through.
Yeah.
All just popped up.
And one swell floop there. Fell swoop.
All
right. Let's see.
Brandon is putting in work. Wait,
yes.
Jones? Yeah, it's really just 2 guys just going back and forth here. I like it.
We'll let them have at it here. All right. I'm going to move on, though. I'm on the clock here at the 103, and I'm just letting you know Chris, it's on the block.
Chris, real quick, I don't know if you saw your sleeper notifications, but there's breaking news that Browns tight end David Njoku has announced he will not be returning to Cleveland. For whatever that's worth.
Not be returning.
Big time dynasty buy, though, if we're going to throw this out there. David Njoku, I think, in a right spot, falling in the right situation here. Man, I love those big athletic tight ends. And Njoku, to me, maybe on the Patriots or something, somewhere where they're hungry for a playmaker. I think that he's got the potential to be a mid-range tight end 1 next year, possibly.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of opportunity out there for him. I mean, Kansas City could take him. You mentioned the Patriots. There's 4 or 5 teams out there looking for a nice, solid veteran tight end pass
I will
catcher.
say, if I was going to be spending my money on a tight end in free agency, I would probably go acquire Isaiah Likely before I go acquire David Njoku.
I mean, yeah, I'm likely probably looks good in the Patriots uniform too, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah,
I think you guys are just trying to get me to draft Sadiq, but it's not going to happen.
I know likely. He used to go to the coffee shop near my house. Actually, he's a Boston kid. He knows the area well. He knows this. He knows where to get coffee around here. So just saying.
Well, May could use some pass catchers after last night.
He could use a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Let me just ask you real quick. Are you more upset at McDaniels or May from last night?
I rewatched the game in all 22 this morning, actually, because I'm a demon. And there's a lot of plays that he missed on the field. There's a lot of holding the ball for too long, and there were definitely some open receivers in the game. I think it was just a combination of bad play calling, and it's surprising because McDaniel he had a good game plan all through the playoffs up until the Super Bowl. But I mean, it's just perfect storm, dude. And they actually came out and said they knew how the offensive line was moving, and they had tells on everybody. And I just think that Seahawks were well prepared, and the Patriots had no way to counter that whatsoever. So tough watch.
Yeah, like I said to Nate before the show too, I mean, you give a good defense 2 weeks to prepare for a, above average offense. The Patriots were, but not top tier. Even top tier offenses can't stop top defenses that get 2 weeks to prepare for the Super Bowl. So seen it happen time and time again. But all right, well, do you guys have any offer for me at the 103, or am I just getting to pick my favorite wide receiver here?
Oh man, well, what if I have a plethora of young running backs on my roster, and I really need a wide receiver here, which would be great. Would be great to have a plethora of young running backs on my roster. And what if I'm looking to move off of maybe a guy like Marion Hampton, who didn't get to do a lot at the end of last year? Maybe I'm like, I didn't really get to see it. Vidal, is he going to be around still? I need a wide receiver. So how about Marion Hampton for the 103?
Oh, that is like a match made in heaven. I think that even just straight up, I will do that. That is a deal. We have ourselves a deal, Nate. You can go ahead and grab the top wide receiver. I like Hampton with Mike McDaniel coming in and Jim Harbaugh. They love Omarion there. And it sounds like our teams need to do this. And you've got yourself a deal.
That's not a good.
That sounded great.
Noise. That's not a good trade noise.
There we go.
Oh man, I love it. I love to see the moves. All right, so which wide receiver is worth Omarion Hampton to you right now?
Man, I see. The thing is, my wide receiver one is Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
But I don't think a lot of people would like Jordan Tyson in this spot. I feel like it's popular right now to hate Jordan Tyson, which is pretty lame because I think he's incredible.
I love Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
I too have him as a 1A, 1B in this class.
I think Tyson is top 12. I think he's a wide receiver one potential. I understand there's the injury history, which people worry about. I'm not too worried about it until the NFL tells me to worry about it. Like if he drops into the 20s, then I'll definitely reconsider. But also, if I want to make a safe pick with still a ton of upside, I go Mekhi Lemon here. Because Mekhi Lemon averaged 3 yards per route run, or more than 3 yards per route run against both zone and man coverage, which not a lot of guys do that. And the guys that do that are Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase level kind of guys. Mekhi Lemon's my pick here, going for the upside if I'm moving Hampton.
Sounds good, Nate. All right. You get Mekhi Lemon, I get Omarion Hampton, and Mike gets to go onto the clock at the 104. What do you want to do, Mike?
I think I'm gonna go.
No,
I gotta go with. I
I
gotta
do
go
have an
with the
offer
guy
for
that.
you. I do have an offer for you.
All right, dude.
I'm thinking that
what plus George Pickens are you gonna throw at me right now?
no, not
Go ahead.
I'm thinking you're more of a contender who happened to get this pick through a trade, and I'm going to offer you Kenny Walker plus my 201. Super Bowl MVP, Kenny Walker.
I know. You're really throwing out guys that I have a distaste for, and I wanted. I wish you weren't. I just think that you and I might have similar values, and we might try to get rid of the same guys at the same time. So I think we'd be good co-owners of a team, but I don't think we'd be good trade partners at this point because I want to buy Kenneth Walker, but I want to move off from the same time. Like I would have bought him before the playoffs, but now that he's looking really good, I can't buy him right now. You gotta sell the shit out of him. I'm sorry. I am gonna go with somebody that does remind me of George Pickens at this pick, though. I think that in the right setting, this guy can be a wide receiver one, a big wide receiver, good hands, runs routes like a little guy, just because he's got that strong stem work, and I think that with his body type, he's going to fit on a lot of teams. I like him going possibly to the Commanders, the Jets. I would love to see him as a Devontae Adams replacement at some point on the Rams. I think there's just a lot of teams in the back end here. He might make it to the end of the first. I don't know if he would, but if the Jets trade out, trade back, trade forward, I don't know. They have a lot of options over here. I don't want to see him with the Jets just because I think he might die there, but the Commanders is juicy. I'm talking about Carnell Tate, if I didn't give that away. I think that I love Tyson, and you and I both probably have him higher than consensus, but I think that Tate can fall into almost like a CeeDee Lamb trajectory if he lands right in this draft. And I think that ultimate ceiling comp that I have for him is going to outweigh. I see Tyson as a Devonta Smith or, in that realm of player. I think that Tate could actually be an alpha in the game when it's all said and done, if he falls right. Like I said, if he falls to the Jets, it might be that Garrett Wilson fade all over again.
Yeah, I hear that. I see that T. Higgins, George Pickens style receiver. He's shown enough, wide receiver room at Ohio State that's just been loaded, so he can perform just like Ibuka did last year in Tampa, where he was able to, at least early on in the season, he was able to show up like a wide receiver one. But then things just fell apart when Baker was banged up. So yeah, I don't hate. I'm still. I mean, really, it's hard to differentiate these three until we see where they land and who gets the best quarterback, best fit. Right now we're all over the place. So we didn't. I didn't pick.
By the way, did you see this? What? He wants us to rank Tate with JSN, Ibuka, Olave, and Garrett Wilson
as a prospect. I'm guessing as a prospect. Yeah,
it's a prospect.
I mean, the way Mike's talking about it, he's about to put him up number 2.
Oh, I cannot. I think that. Oh man, I think it's going to go. It's those big X's, those guys that. Man, I'm dreaming right now. I know it is, but I do love Ibuka. I think that we're going to see a JSN type of trajectory. Maybe year 2, especially if Mike Evans doesn't return to that team. I think that he has the ability to possibly rise up in Dynasty, I think, and then production-wise as well. I think I'm going to go JSN. If we're just going prospect-wise, it's going to be JSN, Ibuka, Garrett Wilson, Tate, and then Olave for me. But
yeah,
it's just hard.
Similar. I would have JSN, Garrett Wilson, Ibuka, Tate, Olave.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wasn't as high on Garrett Wilson, so I would have him. I would go JSN, Ibuka, Tate, then Garrett Wilson and Olave. I think that's where I would rank them. But, again, landing spot is going to be a big factor here, and it always is. But I trust that Tate's going to perform pretty well going forward. Now, I don't know about you guys, but with Brian Hartline leaving, you think the Ohio State receivers are going to take a little bit of a step back? I mean, Arthur Smith coming to town, that isn't exactly the most exciting news.
I mean, I'm sure Jeremiah Smith will be fine, but we don't have like that next guy yet for Ohio State. Now, I'm not saying they don't have the next guy there, but they did have some young recruits who transferred out who didn't really do anything the first year, which it's hard to do anything in that wide receiver room. So I do think that we'll see a little bit different of an Ohio State wide receiver moving forward. I think Brian Hartline is a huge part of that success that we've seen from there the last couple of years. Now, for me, because I'm up at the 105 here.
Yes, you are.
And I get the guy I was considered at the 103. I get Jordan Tyson here.
Yes, sir.
Who is my wide receiver one, right up there with Mekhi Lemon. I have Mekhi Lemon, Tyson 1A, 1B, and then I have Tate as a third. I'm probably lower on him than a lot of people. I still think he's very good. I still have him as my wide receiver 3. But, Chris, you mentioned comparing him to T. Higgins, to George Pickens. Those are really, really good wide receiver 2s on teams who have had success in times as wide receiver 1s. But that's kind of where I see Tate. I hope he goes to a team where there is a wide receiver across from him, where he can operate on a high-powered offense as like one of the best wide receiver 2s in the NFL. But I don't know if he is the wide receiver 1 of an offense, if I'm going to be, I'll still be in on him because volume equals fantasy production, but I don't think he's going to be quite as good as maybe some of these other guys in a wide receiver 1 situation. This is my opinion. I haven't been blown away as much as everybody else, but I do love Jordan Tyson. He's got great frame. He's got great hands, highlight catches everywhere. Like he's got a whole SportsCenter top 10 just in his own highlight reel. So happy to get him here.
And he's worked really hard to get to where he is. He wasn't one of these top 100 prospects coming into ASU, and he's really, he's gotten banged up, sure, but when he's on the field, yes, absolute highlight reel for sure. All right, so I am up at the 106. I'm putting it on the block. You guys got anything? Who's your favorite to move up? Maybe this is where the tier break is for now, for the most part, industry wide. But is there one guy you like, one of the receivers or the top tight end to jump up? And so like the 106 is the pick to actually be trading for right now in your mind.
If I had to give my advice, I would say not to trade it for the 106.
Because this would be the time to buy it. You know what I mean?
It would be.
This is where the tier break occurs. I think that if you're going to be trading up in most drafts, you're going to want to go inside the top 5. This is where I'd want to move back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make the moves within the range of the top 5. I think that all of these guys have a higher success rate as far as who they're going to hit and how they're going to hit. But like right here is where it gets iffy for me. There's a tier of wide receiver and a tier of running backs that are going to be completely reliant on how they fall in the draft. I think, at this point, it's a tough tier. I think that there's a couple guys that are going to really separate themselves from this tier, but it's a straight line for me up until from 106 to 109.
Yeah.
You could kind of flip flop all these guys and I couldn't even have an argument with you at all. I have no idea.
Yeah, I agree. 106 to 109 right now with the, for me, at least it's the next 2 wide receivers, Sadiq and Ty Simpson. I would say that's where I'm at, just based off of where Ty Simpson, he's projected anywhere from 15 or 16 to the beginning of the second round. We don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a quarterback and we're playing super flex. So that carries weight. And, but I love the 2 wide receivers and the fact that they're probably going to be going at the back end of the first round. So they're going to probably get pretty good landing spots, right? They're going to be going to a playoff team, and I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I loved watching David Boston play, and his kid is just a physical specimen without the steroids for now. And so I'm going to go with Denzel Boston.
It's a great pick.
Yes.
Great pick. I think I just saw him in a mock draft earlier this morning going to the Bills. So
yeah, that's juicy.
Keon Coleman replacement, I guess.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. They just don't know how to draft wide receivers, though. And I think that would be like everyone thinks it's a nice
They don't know how
spot
to use wide
for
receivers. That's the problem.
And then it's like, Cole Beasley gets signed and gets the most targets on the team. It's just like, I don't get it, dude. The Joe Brady offense, and now that he's the head coach, it gives me.
I don't think it was a great hire by the Bills, to be quite honest. As a Ravens fan, I'm cool with it, but
I am too. I think this is going to be stagnant. It's going to be much of what we saw last year.
Yeah.
And they had that weird press conference with Keon Coleman, like trashing him and talking about how the coaching staff wanted him, not the GM, and then they hire one of the guys from the coaching staff. Just weird vibes in Buffalo. And I do think they've drafted wide receiver well. I mean, I love Khalil Shakir coming out of college. I think he's a great pick that they picked up. I think Keon Coleman was overdrafted, and I said that from the get-go. But he's a guy you have to develop, and they just haven't really developed him. And there might be some other aspects there, but it's not like they use these guys or put these guys in good places to develop either. So,
yeah. All right, Mike, you're up at the 107. Go ahead if you want to finish on him.
I mean, if you guys want to move up for this pick, this is definitely George Pickens plus what kind of thing, if you're up for that.
Are you even getting anything plus? I don't think you're getting anything plus on George Pickens.
Well, I want to re-roll on Jameson Williams. So I'm offering you Jameson Williams because I love the landing spot for wherever it is for Concepcion. And
see, that's my pick, brother. You just kind of leaked it. I'm definitely not trading Concepcion for Jameson Williams, though.
So go ahead.
We're gonna fire away, KC
All right.
Concepcion, and I've thrown this comp out a couple times before. Stephon Diggs. I see a lot of him in Concepcion just because of his ability to make plays after the catch. I think that they have similarities out of the slot. Same style of play. I think he's going to lock in as a wide receiver 2 almost immediately in the NFL. He's definitely in the top of that tier. I have him slightly above Boston right now, personally. I think that it goes Concepcion and then Boston as far as outside of the top 3 for me. But like I said, it's pretty fluid. I think that I would have taken either one of these guys. Whoever you didn't take, I was taking at this point. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Moving, baby. All right, we got one other question here. So Danka 3834 is asking, I traded the 105, 212, and Scootin' Tootin' for Marion Hampton. Did I cook? Well, what did I traded the 103 for Hampton. I like it. I would throw in 212 and Tootin'. I'm just assuming it's a standard 12 by 10 half point or 0.75 tight end premium. I think I would do that for Hampton. Throw it into a calculator or whatever. It probably says it's
105. You're still looking at one of the top 3 wide receivers, right? I mean, assuming that we're looking at a super flex league and at least one of those QBs are going to go in the top 5.
Yeah, but positional scarcity. I can replace a wide receiver a lot easier than I can replace a running back.
And it also is on how you feel about ETN going back to Jacksonville, too, because Tootin obviously gets a bump if you feel ETN is going somewhere bigger.
And it's not that I think Tootin's going to come in and be a very productive dynasty wide receiver or running back. It's just the bump is perceived. The bump is an imaginary bump. It's hey, he's all of a sudden, it's kind of like when Brian Thomas was the only wide receiver in Jacksonville for that 4-week period, and everyone's like, they had him over CeeDee Lamb. They had him over all these guys, like top tier of guys. Like people were saying, oh, trade this guy for that guy. And then obviously we saw how that played out. But I think just the idea that ETN's probably moving off of the team would probably make me keep tuning until at least free agency shook out a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. What if they let ETN go because they can get Rico Dowdle for half the price, right? Or somebody else similar, Tyler Algier, right? Because Tyler Algier is not going to be as expensive as ETN. So I mean, I'm not counting on LaQuinton Allen being, a 150 touch guy, and I don't think Liam Cohen is just giving 300 plus touches to Bashul Tootin next year.
Can I throw out a little take here? I think the Bears cut Swift.
Sure.
And ETN and Swift trade places.
I could see that. I think the Bears are going to go hard after Kenny Walker too. So
Nate, where you at with that? Just like a little swip swap. Just a little swip swap.
They'd save money, Jacksonville would.
I don't know. I think if you're gonna get a running back mate for Tootin, I think you want a different guy than Swift. I don't know if it's going to happen. I kind of doubt it because I feel like this guy I'm about to mention is like, and the Lions are way too like close knit. But if they were to move off of David Montgomery and Tootin would be kind of a interesting little 1-2 punch there in Jacksonville. Probably be pretty cheap. I think Montgomery is like 28, 29 at this point. Coming off an injury too. So, but I think that would be a nice little thunder and lightning in that backfield.
I like that. I also like them drafting somebody like a Katron Allen or something, like a big back to pair with Tootin. And
that would be the Moneyball move. Yeah.
Sexy. Sure. Probably a 3rd round pick is all they would cost them, as opposed to throwing a bunch of money at a free agent guy.
Right. And they got to pay all these wide receivers at some point. So, yeah, they might be looking for the cheapest running backs. All right.
Speaking of free agent running backs, I'm at the 108, Chris.
Yes.
And you got Kenneth Walker.
I do.
I want a running back for my championship team.
But do I need
do you want to get younger?
Tight end or Ty Simpson? I don't know, man.
Free agent,
you're a big Ty Simpson guy, huh?
Well, I'm not a big Ty Simpson guy. It's just that he right now is the quarterback too, and it's just the game. I'm a big proponent on roster construction. And so roster construction wise, quarterback makes the most sense in that realm, as in a quarterback that has a Tyler Shook type opportunity coming up this year. And so any quarterback that gets drafted in the back end of the 1st or early 2nd, they're going to probably see some action this upcoming year. And that's some value I want to capitalize on.
I think I would rather, if I may, wait for like a Trinidad or a Nussmeier personally, but I don't know. Ty Simpson's given me.
Oh, I would trade back for either of those two. Don't get me wrong. I think if Chambliss is in the draft, which is kind of trending that way right now, I could totally. Those 3 quarterbacks are in the same tier for me. It's just Simpson is regarded as the highest pick right now. So that's all.
Football guys actually comped Ty Simpson to Bryce Young, which was interesting to me.
I thought he was more of a gangly Daniel Jones. That's kind of.
I heard that comp today, actually. They called him a magician.
Interesting.
I don't know if I see it, but I respect it.
But I am going to pass. I'm going to hang on to my Kenny Walker, Nate.
Okay. All right. Well, then you're going to have to make me make a choice here.
Yes, you are.
So, and as we were talking about, this is no man's land for me. I think it is pretty like the board opens up at the 106. But I think the right picks are Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion in some order, unless Ty Simpson goes in the teens or early 20s to the Steelers or the Rams or something like that. Then he enters that conversation.
Sure.
But until I know Ty Simpson's a first-round quarterback, I'm going to be cautious on picking him. I'm not going to go tight end. I don't.
I saw your last show. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sadiq. I like Stowers, both of them, but I just don't think that they're at the level that we just saw of Warren and Loveland and Bowers and all these tight ends that we've had recently. That's tight end one. I don't think either one of those guys are up to that level. So which means I'm probably looking at running back here, which means I feel like I'm kind of reaching a little bit, but I'll go with my running back to Jadarian Price. That's what I'm going to pick up here. He's a bigger body back with plenty of speed. He's got kick return experience. Didn't get a lot of receiving work, but that's because he was behind Jeremiah Love, who, as Mike compared him to Jahmyr Gibbs kind of, with his electricity and his receiving ability. So I think Price has that. I think when you look at the rest of the guys in this draft, Price is one of the few guys that can be a 3-down workhorse. So I'm picking him up here and hoping for the best.
All right. Well, that puts me up at the 109. Real quick, I like this question here from Kevin Zad. We'll try and give our 2 cents quickly here because we don't want to be here all night. But Kevin's asking, should he give up Achane and Ayuk for Brees and Rashee Rice? Rashee Rice, definitely a spicy name this offseason so far. And I like Brees's prospects, but we don't know if the Jets are going to try and hang on to him yet. So that's probably one I would hold off on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Brees is a big time buy for me in Dynasty right now. I think that he can fall right. I don't think the Jets are going to keep him. They already were trying to move him off for a 3rd-round pick, but everyone knew that he was probably not staying there after the season anyway. So why burn a 3rd-round pick when you can sign him for free at that point? Rashee Rice comes with a lot of baggage, but doesn't IU come with a lot of baggage? I think it comes down to, do you like Brees on the
Commanders?
Where could he go? He could go to the Commanders. He could
Chiefs,
pair Cowboys. Up with Patrick Mahomes.
Vikings.
Without McDaniels, do we still like him? I still like him. Is he still going to be that guy under a different offense? Probably, but
who else are they going to give the ball to?
I don't know. Who's the quarterback? What are we doing over there? I have no idea about anything in Miami, but we don't know where Brees is
on the
going.
Wildcat with him.
Achane's still going to get his, but I think I think that Rice probably is still going to outproduce Ayuk in the next couple of years at this point, as long as he's not out of football in general. I might go with the Brees side, to be honest. I think the gap of Rice and Ayuk is still way too big for me.
Nate, where are you at on that?
I kind of agree. I don't really want Ayuk right now, and I have a lot of them, unfortunately, because it's just bad vibes all around, and I like my players to be on the field. But then again, same thing with Rashee Rice. It's definitely a tough one, but I think at the end of the day, with McDaniel leaving, I don't know what Achane looks like moving forward. I'm sure he's still going to be productive, but I think Brees will be productive on another team, more productive than he was on the Jets. So I'm going to lean the Brees and Rice side. But personally, I probably would want a different wide receiver than Rice just because this is becoming a pattern, and that's a little concerning. But when he's on the field, he's a top 5 wide receiver. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good trade.
It's
just a good trade in general, I think.
I see the questionable wide receivers, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I am on the clock here at the 109, and I've been milking it, but I haven't gotten a decent offer. I don't know. You guys got anything? Otherwise, I'm just going to grab the top tight end here in a 0.75 premium. It's Kenyon.
I got okay, never mind.
Oh, go ahead. Throw the offer out.
I'm a Ravens fan. but for some reason, I don't really like Zay Flowers. So I'm offering you Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. I like Zay. I will remove that pick, and I'll jump on Zay Flowers. I'll take him for a late first. Yes.
Jump on him, baby. Jump on Zay.
I can find my points at tight end. I'll be fine. I like.
I don't think Nate's
I
going.
like my
Sadiq
Hunter
though.
Henrys, Dallas Goddards. I'm good with those guys. Now I know you're not taking Sadiq though, Nate.
No, I'm not. I'm not going tight end.
Who do you want?
I would love to pretend that Ty Simpson got picked in the late teens. But I guess I can't guarantee that. I'm going to go with Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson is my RB3 in this class. I love Emmett Johnson. He moves so smooth. And he really came on for Nebraska this year, especially near the end of the season when they lost Raiola, and he still looked great. This is a guy I think that in a weak running back class has really earned himself a lot of money. And while I don't think he's going to get 300 touches because of his size, I think he can handle both, all the work on all three downs, just not 300 touches a season. So I think he's going to be really productive. I think he's going to be like a really good RB2 with, depending on the situation, the chance to be a low end RB1 with his receiving ability. So someone I'm going to take a chance on. I can find another wide receiver. I'm thinking Zay might have been, maybe my wide receiver 3 on my team. So I'm going with Emmett Johnson. I need to get some running back depth here.
All right, fair enough. So, Mike, it's on you now at the 110. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm a big Emmett Johnson guy. I love that pick right there. I'm going to keep the running back trend going right now. I'm going Jonah Coleman. I think that he has holes in his game. I don't like his long speed, but ultimately holds that 3-down back potential. He is a bowling ball. He's just hard to bring down. He will run through you. I see a lot of Doug Martin, the muscle hamster in his game. I just see a lot of, he keeps his feet moving. He doesn't shy away from contact. He actually seeks it out sometimes. I think that the NFL is going to fall in love with his ability. He's just a 5'9", 230-pound back that, doesn't stop moving his feet. And I think, he might not be the highest floor producer. He does catch passes, but I think that he's going to be, a very good NFL back when it's all said and done.
Sounds good. All right. Now I know Mike has to run at 8:50.
I can stretch this out. We got about till 9, so don't sweat it.
Well, we're gonna push through here. Nate, it is on you at the 111.
Oh gosh, I feel like I've been picking a whole bunch.
Yeah, you're loading up on the rookies.
All right. Well, I guess at this point, and also I just want to say real quick, I was thinking about it. Like I made the trade Zay Flowers for what ended up being Emmett Johnson. But if someone also was like, hey, I could trade the 109 for Zay Flowers, probably be like, yeah, make that deal. So you can go either way. I'm going to go ahead and pick Ty Simpson here on the off chance he's a first-round quarterback. If he's a first-round quarterback, I'm always a believer that if there's a quarterback that goes in the first round of the NFL draft, you need to pick him up in the first round of your rookie draft. If there's a first-round quarterback in the second round, someone your league doesn't know what they're doing. Because there's the chances of those guys hitting. So at the 111, I'm going to take my shot on Ty Simpson, crossing my fingers that in this really weak quarterback class that someone's going to take a chance on him in the first round.
All right. Sounds good. Well, now I'm up at the 112. You guys got any offer quickly here or no?
You're going to get your guy that you were trying to get at the
109.
Yeah,
I get him. I got Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers, and you're still going to get the guy you were going to take anyway. That's nice.
I will jump on him. I have not been a big proponent of taking the tight ends, and I've gotten burned the last couple of years because of it. But, even with that, not taking any of the rookie tight ends over the last couple of seasons very often in my leagues, I'm still finding the points because when you put a high premium on it, well, like I mentioned, two guys who were two of my highest rostered guys last year, and that's Dallas Goedert and Hunter Henry. And you can even throw Dalton Schultz into that. You can
Mhm.
throw Juwan Johnson into that. I go dirty at tight end. And, this case, though, Kenyon Sadiq at the 112 in a 0.75 premium, I'll shop him around after I pick him. So there you
Good
go.
value pick there.
Let's head into the second round here, Mike. Go ahead and fire away at the 201.
I'm going to keep firing, man. I'm going Katron Allen right here. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. I think that if he falls right, he can definitely become a bruiser, like a Nick Chubb type of player. He's not going to catch a ton of passes, but I think that's what they knocked Nick Chubb with. And in his rookie year, they said, oh, he's just, he's a plotter. He doesn't, catch passes. The kid had he's still going, but, obviously a little past his prime right now. I like him to probably carve out a split backfield in the first year. And then I think that he's another guy that has the potential to be a 3-down back if he falls right and is in the right system, I think. But
yeah, I have plenty of spots. Plenty of teams could use a banger.
Washington, I know that Chris Rodriguez isn't going to work out there. Like, I think that, the whole, what was it? The Bill experiment, all that is kind of fading out. So I'd love him to fall over there and then have him kind of paired with somebody that is more of a pass catching back and they kind of form a nice little 1-2 punch.
All right. Nate, it is on you at the 202.
All right. I'm going to actually pick up another quarterback. I'm going to go with Eli Stowers. Eli Stowers, former quarterback, turned tight end. You can tell because he is so good at finding the open spots in zone coverage. I think he is the most pro-ready pass catcher at the tight end position in this class. I love Sadiq and his upside. I think he still needs some more development, though. I think Stowers you can kind of plug and play as your big slot. So give me Eli Stowers at the 202.
All right. Just to keep it moving along here, I'm going to jump on the next quarterback. For me, that'd be Trinidad Chambliss. I'll go. I'm real close with Neusmeyer and Chambliss. We're assuming Chambliss obviously is going into the draft here. For me, again, when you're drafting like a second round quarterback with legs, we're just trying to chase that next Jalen Hurts because that hit huge, right? I mean, whoever took Jalen Hurts, who was drafted, 50th overall that year? I mean, that is the kind of find that you want in Dynasty. That's team changing for you. And I know it really hasn't worked out for Jalen Milroe. Probably won't unless we get a big injury there. But Chambliss has got some good leadership skills. I see him as somebody that, can come into the NFL and lead an offense. And it all depends on landing spot. But I like the kid. So I'll go with that.
I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed when we get to draft day and what happens with Trinidad Chambliss. Because I loved watching him. He was incredible at Ole Miss. But we're talking about a guy who's going to come in 5'11", 6 foot at most, 190-something pounds soaking wet. It's a long stretch for me to think that Chambliss is going to be a successful NFL quarterback. As much as I love watching him and as good as he looked against Georgia, I mean, production in college was incredible. I can't deny that. And I like him a lot. But I just think when you look at like NFL traits, I think it's a stretch. I think everyone's excited because of the playoffs, and I think it's just a little risky. And I think we're going to find out though over the next couple of months as we get kind of that, draft hype, that draft talk that we get from all the NFL scouts and stuff like that. We're going to see people move up and down, and I think that Chambliss is going to be someone that we see kind of constantly move down. That's just my prediction. Just saying. But the last time we had someone that we really liked out of the playoffs that we went and got was Trey Sermon. That worked out so well, right?
Oh, ouch. Yeah. All right, Mike, you're up at the 204.
Oh man, I see it and I don't see it. I think that like a guy like Taylor Green, I posted about this a couple of days ago, could show out in the combine and have like an Anthony Richardson type of rise when it comes
prior
to
kind of rise. Change
like,
wide receiver.
That's
is that where you're going here?
No, that's silly, dude. I'm the 5th round. I'll wait for that guy. So I'm gonna go
Hey, I
Mike
didn't know what
Washington
kind of
Jr.
rise you were thinking.
Yeah, not that kind of rise. I think
All
it's
right.
a Jalen Milroe kind of rise. Like you might see him throw the ball far and jump high, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I like this guy." So,
He'll test really well.
yeah, I like Mike Washington Jr. I think he's one of my biggest risers in running back. I just did a profile on him on the channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out.
Awesome.
I was with Garrett Price, and we just broke him down. And he just has all the tools you want. He's a pass catcher. He's got good vision, good contact balance. I think that he's just, coming from Arkansas. He's not well known per se. He's not like in the top 5 guys of, when you're looking at these prospects, but I think he's easily a top 5 running back in this class. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't a weak class, but it is. The reality is some of these guys are going to rise up when they probably shouldn't. But I think that he probably has the most complete set of skills outside of the top 3 guys. So I think he's a good value in the 2nd round if this is where he's going to be going.
Solid pick. I like it. Nate,
All right.
205.
Yeah, the 205. I'm going to pick up the best wide receiver on Indiana's national championship team, and that is Omar Cooper Jr. That's who I want here. His athleticism, his ability to get open and then create yards after the catch is really impressive. Did a little bit of everything for that team, kind of all-around wide receiver. I do like Surratt as well, but I feel more confident that Omar Cooper is going to translate to the NFL and be successful at the moment. So Omar Cooper, I think, has a lot of upside, and none of the people are talking about him just yet.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm going to lean into the format here, and you guys are letting me just these quarterbacks are just falling in my lap. So I'm going to go Newsmeyer.
That's how it goes in February. Everyone likes the quarterbacks in February.
Hey, I'm going to hit on one of them.
I remember Malik Willis going 101 in February.
Between Simpson, Chambliss, and Newsmeyer, one of them is going to get some good playing time.
Hey, the Malik Willis take might actually come to fruition.
Never wrong, just early, right?
Yeah.
Now, Newsmeyer, I mean, prior to the college football season last year, was definitely much higher on people's boards, and he played through an injury, then basically got benched, and kind of wish that would have happened to Baker Mayfield this year, and they would have sat him, forced him to sit, but, Baker doesn't do that. But anyway, Newsmeyer did sit, and it's hurt his draft stock, but now he bounced back, looked good at the Senior Bowl. He could see a good rise, much like Tyler Shook last year did. And so, yeah, I'll ride with Newsmeyer. He can plenty of landing spots for him where he could see some action this upcoming season right away in 2026, I think, and gain some good dynasty value. So that's where I think
it's a good pick. Nussmeier is my quarterback 3 in this draft class, and I think he's a 2nd round pick probably in the NFL draft, and love to see him sit for a year or 2 and take over for somebody. Ideally, be a great fit for the Rams. He's got some Matthew Stafford gunslinger in him, so would be a great place to learn. Of course, great place to learn for anybody. But
like it, the Rams would be a solid spot. All right, 207, Mike, you're up.
All right, I think I'm going to go Chris Brazel here. So I think that I always have this fade Tennessee wide receivers. This is one of the exceptions that I have here. And I think that if we're talking about a mid-second, I'm going for the ceiling and not the floor. I do like his playmaking. I think that he's a big play guy. Obviously, the Tennessee air raid offense has really warped a lot of brains out there when it comes to rookie profiles. You see the Tillmans, you see the Jalen Hyatts, all these guys that come out and just don't produce in the NFL. I think that he's not going to come in and just be a absolute monster, but I think he has the skill set to carve out a good role in the NFL. Like a Martavius Bryant, like somebody that has that big playability, can come in. I'm not going to say a Jameson Williams, but like that type of guy, boom or bust, really can at least be a viable wide receiver 2-3 on a team. And I think in this range, that's really what you're hoping for.
definitely a best ball dandy. I'll say that. If it's best ball versus lineup, definitely somebody I could see drafting, but lineup league, just not. Lineup league, I don't know. It's just somebody that I see sitting on my bench who I
I'm not a big Brazel fan myself, so
don't want to put in because I know I'm going to get burned, and then he's sitting there on my taxi squad when he has 2 catches for 85 yards and that 1 touchdown, But all right, Nate, you're up at the 208.
All right, I'm going to pick the other Chris. I'm going to go with Chris Bell here, who prior to tearing his ACL, I would have had in the back end of the first round. So the injury discount here, I'm more than happy to take off. Chris Bell gives off some A.J. Brown vibes with his athleticism, his frame, his ability to run after the catch and be physical, athletic. Love Chris Bell, and he really broke out this year and really became what a lot of people were hoping he could become with that athleticism. The ACL definitely hurts, but I'm not too worried about it. I think he'll end up being just fine. Just we'll have to, maybe not use him for a little bit to start the season. That's fine.
All right. Well, I'm going to go at the 209 with another receiver who's been mentioned as a possible first rounder. So I'm going to jump on Zach Branch. Obviously, if he goes in the first round, he'd probably get picked higher than this. But he's versatile, good competition. I think, I don't know. I like the Georgia receivers. They've come out and performed well. I don't want to be helmet scouting there, but you come from SEC competition. I think that Zach Branch is somebody who I could see one of those playoff teams taking a shot on as we'll see. I don't know.
That's what you want your first round pick, right?
Yeah, it's more so that I see the possibility of him going in the first, and that's where I'm looking at Zach Branch right now. I am more confident in him than Brazel. I'll say that. Just as a pro, he looks like a pro receiver, so that's more what it is. Brazel is like a Plaxico Burress that needs work on route running, I guess. I don't know. But that's where I'm at. I'll take Branch and run. So 210, Mike, what are you thinking here?
I'm the opposite. I don't like. I've been loving Branch his rookie year, and then he came out and really disappointed the last couple of years. I don't know. Yeah. His fall off is tough to watch from a Debbie perspective, but I don't like the fact that his usage comes behind the line of scrimmage most of the time. But hey, it's going to be a fun thing to revisit. If Brazel is a monster in the NFL, then
I will eat it. Yes,
you got to send me a milkshake or something. I guess I'm going the other Penn State running back over here. I'm going to take Nick Singleton. I like. He's another guy that kind of fell out of favor, obviously, with Katron Allen having monster junior and senior years, but still love what I've seen from him. His average is really good. I think that he is going to get docked a little bit with this injury. I think that he's probably not going to have any pro day or combine or anything, numbers to really back him up. So I think he's going to become a big time value in these rookie drafts. I think he might be going a little early in this one. When it's all said and done, you might be able to get him in the third. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
that'd be great
if the NFL fades him off of this injury, and then if we're looking at him possibly going in the fourth round of the actual NFL draft, I think he's going to be a big time value. And I still like his skill set. I still think that, I have him close to like a Trey Benson type of player. I think obviously Trey Benson in the right scenario could have. He dealt with his own injuries, but he kind of had a free runway this year. He didn't run with it, but we've seen flashes. I think that Nick Singleton could have a decent RB2 role on a team if it's all said and done. And he kind of, I don't know. He's got to, because I said this about Ollie Gordon last year too, and it seemed like he was going to get there, but it's risky. But I think that's this class at this point. It's all risk moving forward.
Yes, it is. It's pick your guy at this point, really. And Nate, you get a chance to do it here at the 211.
I will. Yeah, I'm going to pick up Jacoby Lane here. Early declare out of USC. He's got the size. He's got the early production. Took a back seat to Mekhi Lemon, but a lot of wide receivers would. I think Jacoby Lane is a great value here at the end of the second. I would be comfortable picking him up mid-second. I don't think he's a first-round pick, but I think he's a second-round pick, maybe even top 50, which would be great draft capital for him. So Jacoby Lane, there's not a ton of big wide receivers in this draft that I love, and he's one of the few guys I do.
All right. Well, I got my guy in mind. I want to hit this question real quick because this is pertinent here. He's in a rebuild. Trade is 101 for 102 and 104.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. What are you guys thinking? If you're in a rebuild, get the extra pieces.
Yeah, you can pick up a quarterback and a wide receiver or two wide receivers, depending on the situation. Jeremiah Love, of course, is incredible, but I think the two assets are better than one here.
All right, Wags. There you have it. Mike, you got a quick thought on that?
I'm into that trade too. I think that, I would probably trade the 101 for the 102 and 105, or, I think that the 104 is locked in as you're going to get one of the top two wide receivers as long as we're talking about a super flex league here. So yeah, I think that's an easy pick. And who's to say one of these wide receivers isn't above Love when it's all said and done?
Yeah, totally.
That's very real possibility that, somebody like Lemon, Tate, or even Tyson is valued above Love even after this rookie season.
Absolutely. There you go, Wags. Go jump on it. All right. Well, I am going to go and I didn't want that. All right. I'm going to grab Malachi Fields. I think that he's showing up pretty well so far. Had a good Senior Bowl. He looks like a pro receiver. That's, again, what I'm looking for if I'm going to draft a receiver at this point in the draft. Usually I'm looking running back. Not so much with this class. Not that I hate on Singleton. Singleton's got the talent, just been banged up. Mike Washington, love the tape and everything you've put out with him, Mike. But Malachi Fields, I just think can be a pro receiver. I'm not saying like Amon-Ra St. Brown style where he was going in the second round of our rookie drafts that year when he came out. But, what can I say? He's got a little Alan Lazard in him. He can block well. Of course, when you got two running backs like you had at Notre Dame, you got to block to be on the field. So that is a positive. That means extra snaps. And so it's more of a, I guess, project type because I don't know that he's going to blow up his rookie season. But if he's on the field enough, could be a red zone target, sneak into the end zone sometimes, even as a rookie. So there you have it, Malachi Fields. I think we're going to finish it off at 2 rounds tonight, right? Because I know you got to run, Mike. But, man, this was fun. Just getting a taste for it. We've got 10 more weeks before the NFL draft. It's just 10 weeks.
It's crazy.
The combine is coming right up. We can taste it. Then free agency. And then all we have to look forward to is the draft. So lots of time to talk about things. Anything you guys want to add here on how the draft board fell? I think for me, running backs went a little earlier than I expected. That's the thing I can say as far as the first round there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because there's not a lot of them. So if you got to go get them when you can. And I think that's going to push them up the board. The few that deserve to be up there in the back half of the first round, they're going to be pushed up the board because of the second round. There's a couple guys you can kind of pick your favorite flavor, but there's not a lot of guarantee back there.
Yeah, this will shake out a little more, obviously, as time goes on, where some of these running backs are going to fall out. Some of them are going to rise up a little bit. But it does remind me of, man, what year is the Blake Corum, Trey Benson? Is that 2004? I think that's 2004 class.
24, yeah.
And it was just, Bucky Irving. It was just a wide open running back class. And this is what we have here outside of, obviously the top guy right here. So It's tough. You're going to see a lot of this. I think we saw a lot of this pre-draft in 2024, where we saw like Trey Benson, Corum, like even Bucky in some circles going in the top 2 rounds. And then the draft happened and we saw the full fade of certain guys, and it kind of leveled out a little bit, but still, it has that could be very disappointing type of running back class written all over it. Or it could be a big surprise. I think that this is one of those, it's not like the past couple of years where we had lock set couple first guys, and then it, obviously breaks off, but not the case. It's wide open.
Yeah, Singleton could be a guy that, like Bucky fell because of his slow 40 time, right? But he was a solid back. Everybody thought he was just a pass catcher, and obviously he stepped up. We'll see if he bounces back in 2026, but he could be somebody to go out there and buy. Who knows? But Nick Singleton, yes, he's somebody who could definitely slide to the 3rd and 4th rounds of our rookie drafts. I don't love drafting guys that are hurt, but it hasn't worked out for Jonathan Brooks yet. But if you own Jonathan Brooks right now, just sit tight with him.
Yeah.
See what happens in Carolina. So, all right, fellas. Well, it's been awesome. I could do this probably every night of the week, but we're going to have to cut it off tonight. And it's been a pleasure having you guys in for Mock Draft Monday. As I said, we're going to be running this every Monday throughout the rest of the offseason until the NFL draft, maybe even past that. We'll do some startup mocks. We'll have a fun time here. So, Nerdboi, you want to let us know what you got coming up here? You got some rookie profiles, some good action there. What's going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I alluded to before, we just dropped the Mike Washington rookie profile. This Wednesday, I have Katron Allen with Dave Kluge. And then on Saturday, I am dropping Carnell Tate with Ray G. So Ray over there, he's been putting in a lot of work. He is somebody that I value. Obviously, I'm picking guys that I value in the space when it comes to their prospect breakdowns. But I think that the next couple episodes are going to be must-watch stuff. I think that these guys have been following these prospects for years, and just the analysis that I'm getting is top-notch, and it's going to help you guys in your rookie drafts and whatever it is that you do, especially if you draft early, like a lot of my leagues. We're already doing rookie drafts right now. I'm in one currently. So we do it D-Gen style, where we're just running with it, and however they land. So it's not pretty sometimes, or sometimes it's really pretty. You can get like a Gibbs in the middle of the first round like we did, and just good value and bad value, like you take Zach Evans in the first round of rookie draft, but you live and you learn, and it's fun.
Trey Sermon. Ooh, that was a rough one.
Sermon wasn't too high up initially. He got high up after the rookie the NFL draft. So that's when he really rose. I don't think he was a landmine before.
Nate, what do you and Mike, CEO Mike, have coming up this week for us?
Yeah, we're recording our next podcast tomorrow night. We're doing a draft of the 2025 class and the 2026 class to really look at how, we're valuing the rookies against, the sophomore guys coming into next year. So talking about some more rookies, talking about how we think the last rookies did, and then continuing to move on from there as we look at more positions, more players. The Patreon, we're going into deep dives of player prospect profiles. So make sure you sign up at patreon.com/Dynasty Rewind. Got a lot of stuff coming to you guys.
There you have it. And on Wednesday morning, you'll see the drop for how to rebuild. We're giving you a little outline, a little roadmap for how to rebuild if your team is in that part of the process. It happens to all of us. Rebuilds can be fun. Just don't get stuck in perpetual rebuild mode. That's all I've got to say on that right now. You'll have to watch Wednesday for the rest of it. But yes, love the family we've got going on here at the Dynasty Rewind. Lots of draft info for you guys. Keep hitting us up. We will continue pumping it out for you this 2026 off season. So thank you for joining us tonight. And remember to never stop working.